Shri Dr. K. Keshava Rao.
Thank you very much, sir. First, I'll start with saying the last paragraph of the presidential address, who thought this house is sanctum sanctorum of democracy. If that be so, this is my complaint and a grievance which I have been bringing forth to you, the minister here. This is a council of states. There are states with the ruling parties and the governments which would like to have their voice registered here in this house. But unfortunately, even if I am the 8th largest opposition party, being one in this house, I am not given. So is the Bodo, so is also from Nagaland, so is the Mizoram. This must be registered. I am not making a complaint. This must go to the business rules where you must really discuss as to how you would give us that voice which we deserve, is due to us. Sir, anyhow, this is very customary. The President goes to you and addresses the joint session. And last time when he went, he gave a list of intent, what he would do and what the government would do. We gave all credence to them because they won with a decisive majority, thought they would stand by their word. Little did we realize their president saying that we said black money only be as a, poll rhetoric or poll promises, so-called. We didn't know they were to deal with all the things that they said last time in their speech. Naturally, when I look to this present address, whether the government looks or not, whether the leader of the house had looked into or not, it will be in this house are certainly related to what he said last time. 9 months hence, has he really achieved, had the government achieved anything? Have they done anything for them to say? The leader of the opposition here, Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, had yesterday, in a very scathing attack on the address, brought many issues which I would not say it in the same tenor because I would like to not indulge in politics, but nonetheless what he said are true but nothing but truth. But I would like to say how they are truth. To take just a minute back, the leader of the house was talking about the land issue, although I would come later, but because he had said it, I would like to refer to it. When Mr. Manishankar here got up and said in emotion that nowhere in the world people acquire, the government acquires land for the private companies, sir, he meant that the private parties had the money to acquire their own land, buy their own lands. The 13 acts of which the leader was always referring to were already in place. They were not new laws. These 13 laws were in place, which Ramesh brought it in. Jairam Ramesh thought that this must be factored in first. Later, within 1 year, they could be incorporated into the regular act. Sir, I don't belong to this Congress nor BDP. As it is, even if I were to be in the Congress, as I have often took my stand, I would have opposed that bill, even which the Congress itself brought it. Because I would not believe that land could be just taken away by the government for a private use. If a land is to be acquired, if land is to be taken for the government use, what you are saying is infrastructure, what you are saying is for the road, what you are saying is for the irrigation dams, nobody would have objected. If it is for a hospital, for a government hospital, nobody would have objected. Even if you were to take under PPA and kept it under your name, perhaps something could have been discussed. But acquiring it for a private, I don't think I would go and acquire, I go and get another company through the government and acquire the companies. That exactly was the meaning of when Jairam Ramesh or Mr. Manishankar tried to explain to the leader of the opposition that the 13 acts that they were trying to talk were already in place, they were existing. We were only trying to see how they could be incorporated or factored into the act. Sir, as I said, it is very nice that the address starts with the inclusiveness. What is it? Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. What is inclusiveness? If it is inclusive policy that you're talking, there are two aspects to it. One is social inclusiveness, another is economic inclusiveness. Our crisis, our grievance, our complaint is about the first one, social inclusiveness. Because for the first time we have heard an agnostic or whatever it is, Mr. Yechuri reciting from Vedas or Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads and whatnot. A student of philosophy like me would like to tell him, let us keep quiet. But one thing is sure, let us keep it aside. But one thing is sure, that this particular objection of this house from this side for the last 2 days has been only on one thing. There is what is known as a singular identity space that you are seeking. In identity, a singular identity. An identity you are seeking for yourself in a pluralistic society. That perhaps is trying to distort the very fabric of this nation and our commitment of secularism or socialism. This exactly has been the concern. Whether religion comes or not, that is how the rich and poor come. Yesterday, Mr. Yadav was very emotional, very touchy. His speech really touched all of us. I don't know how many you were touched there. He talked about people whom we have not seen and whose name you come into the house. The people in those areas in Jharkhand and other things are with which you are aware. We have not seen them. On their name we come into this house in the name of the Janata. They are not motorable. You can't even reach them. And we talk about them. You have a representative for every section, but for tribals you don't have. The president now speaks about left extremism. I know the problem. The problem has been there for you for the last 40, 50 years. What did we do? Just talking. Yesterday when the question was raised here about Naxalism in this house, all that the questions were asked, or the supplementaries were raised, were only about the armed forces. How it is being reinforced. What new modern arms that we are trying to give to the police. Nobody taught us how this issue came in, how you must take them into confidence. If you have to believe, as you have said in one of your speeches, if it is socio-economic problem, you say so, as we have been saying, then try to understand what the social problem is. What is the economic problem that has been haunting them? If they are asking for empowerment, economic is only one part of it. Empowerment could be many things. Empowerment, I want to live with a dignity. Empowerment is I want to live my life. Empowerment is I want to be a human being here in this house. That is what exactly empowerment. That is why when we talk about tolerance, when we are talking about the religious things, the statements that I am not trying to join issues with others, because much has been said about it. I think the house has expressed it and they have also understood it. I would not let it go in. But fact remains, you must understand why this grievance came at all. This is because the singular identity that you are trying to seek, a special identity you are trying to, and give this singular identity to the nation in a pluralistic society. That we must really think. It is very nice of the Prime Minister having said something in this regard, saying that we must have this kind of... Sir, one thing you must give me some... I'll jump over all those things. Sir, I would say, because the Finance Minister came and told us, the leader said, Janadhan Yojana. Now it is a financial inclusion, they say. Sir, it is true that something like 32,000 accounts are opened. We must know there are 82,000 crore accounts today in the country. For last 2 years, we had 24 crore accounts. It is not opening of accounts that makes a financial inclusion. This I am only trying to tell the minister here, since you are for the industries, please understand this account that who is going to service them. This is going to one-way accounts. He goes and opens the account because somebody has come. He is not going back to the bank to operate the account. Today, for last 9 months, 7 months that I have got the records here, not a single account is in operation. All that is that opened it, even including the 24. 18 crores of the 24 are also not operative. All that they take is when you transfer the loan, he goes and takes it. So please try to, if you are thinking this is some kind of financial inclusion, please try to give a look, think as to what you should do, how do you bring it, make it operative, how they really gain out of it. This is one thing, sir. Number two, sir, the education they have been talking. Priority of priorities education, but is what President says. Sir, priority President, Beti Bachao is one thing they talk. There is first standard, second standard, sir. Beti Bachao. Only one. Sir, the other day when we asked here in this question, Do you know what the minister says? As the Beti Bachao BBBP scheme has been approved recently, no funds allocated, no fund allocation has been made so far to the states. Now, but tell me, this is what exactly I am trying to tell you. I am not objecting. The very laudable schemes you have brought it, but when do you implement it? 9 months are over. Perhaps what you would talk tomorrow in the budget, another 1 year will wait. But every fact I will tell you, sir, only one minute I will take from you, sir. Why I am saying this, I am not on a fault finding mission. I am trying to tell you that we have been telling those things. That is how the objection comes in. The moment we implement them, I don't think the objections will come for a laudable plans. Now let us say you talked about housing. How many housing we require? Today there are something like 60 million people who need houses. That is rural. 30 as far as the urban is concerned. Forget about it. Even then, we had the housing scheme earlier. In this housing scheme, if you are to do it, what you are saying is for poor. Then I said affordable housing. Affordable housing means, sir, let me tell the definition of affordable housing is multi-storied apartment of 70 to 120 is the definition. That means, you know, these people who have these developers have these multi-storied things. That is a private affair, not housing for poor. Sir, Manrega, the minister was saying, Manrega gets at it. Sir, Manrega's thing, 24-15 till December. The expenditure has been only 26,000 out of 34,000. Sir, same way, the mandates created was 34 per family, as against the target of 54. Now, this way, housing provided so far is only 2 lakhs as against, as I told you, 60 lakhs. Now, when you look to all these things, sir, for example, this skill development. Skill development was Rajya's skill mission was there. I am not trying to praise one mission or the other. We had given 1.27 crore people have been skilled. Later we thought of changing that Apprentice Act. We gave a lot of funds. This time all that you gave, sir, all that you gave last one, you gave only 25.8% if your target is achieved in last 9 months. I am only calculated that on the 9 months basis. I have not calculated on the 10 month basis. That pertains to you, sir. Now this is how we are trying to go. We wish this government, because you have the mandate of the people, please kindly, this perception of the nation, not perception of these few people here, the perception of the nation that you would like to depend on what is known as cultural nationalism, perhaps this will not be good for the nation. That you are today, I would say, sold, but nonetheless, you are taken in by the corporate sector. When the land issue is coming in, when we said land, we are saying the private man. The state, let the government take over. We have no objection with all this. But anyhow, thank you very much for giving me this time, sir. I've taken 5 or 6 minutes more. Thank you. Sorry for that.